I was lucky enough to sit down and play the beginning of Resistance Burning Skies campaign, not to be confused with the Noah Wyle alien invasion epic Falling Skies. As IGN's resident Resistance nerd, I can report that Burning Skies does indeed seem primed to deliver a solid experience to Resistance loyalists, invoking the enemies, weapons, and atmosphere that have made Insomniac Games' franchise shine. And while Burning Skies unequivocally lacks the polish and quality of an Insomniac title, developer Nihilistic Software is nonetheless doing a nice job of capturing the essence of the series.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, and we got to play some multiplayer too. Stand by for more on that a little later in this video preview from IGN PlayStation boss man, Greg Miller. Burning Skies begins in the late summer of 1951, in between the events of Resistance Fall of Man and Resistance 2. The main character isn't Nathan Hale or Joseph Capelli, but an all-new protagonist, an FDNY firefighter named Tom Riley. Responding to what appears to be a routine fire in Staten Island, Riley quickly realizes that there's much more going on here than meets the eye.
What the f?
Wielding at first only his trusty axe, Riley cuts down Chimeran hybrids as he struggles through the fire, back outside, and into the fray on the streets. The Chimeran invasion of North America has begun in earnest. Playing a first-person shooter on a handheld with 2 analog sticks is a surreal experience. Other than the Resistance license, this is perhaps the single greatest thing Burning Skies has going for it. There's literally no other experience like it on the market, and no other handheld or portable device could possibly support the game. Controlling Riley is smooth, aiming and shooting with the Vita's triggers is second nature, and the entire experience feels like something you may have played a few years ago on console. Of course, Vita has inherent limitations too. The lack of R2 and L2 buttons on the handheld means that the OLED touchscreen must be used for certain functions. Tapping the axe icon to melee enemies is a bit annoying, as is using the grenade icon on screen and touching an icon to break through doors and other obstacles. Using secondary fire on weapons like the bullseye and carbine also require you to touch the screen. All of this is necessary in a sense because of Vita's limited control inputs, but at the same time, I don't want to be touching the screen constantly during a shooter. A major positive I noticed while playing through Staten Island is an emphasis on character and story. Early on in the game, you'll meet fellow firefighters, New York-based resistance members, military men, and even Riley's own wife and kid.
Daddy!
The latter encounter is especially telling since Riley wants to continue the fight for New York in lieu of escaping to safety with his family, speaking volumes about his dedication to the greater cause and stressing his selflessness. Resistance fans like myself can expect to find both old and new enemies and weapons alike. New weapons make some sense, but running into new Chimera that you never encounter anywhere else in the series is a leap too far for me. Why am I fighting strands of Chimera that I didn't fight in Europe, nor in the North American campaigns of Resistance 2 and 3? If you're willing to take that leap of logic, however, you'll be pleased to know that not everything will be redundant for you if you've already been immersed in the series' impressive fiction. Burning Skies totes plenty of intel to find in the environments, requiring exploration, though I didn't run into any firsthand. Burning Skies also has its own roster of trophies, which I took a peek at. This roster seems like it will be exponentially easier to platinum than Resistance 2 and 3, which is good news for trophy hunters out there. I also really like the in-game trophy list, which shows you how far along you are in achieving certain trophies, such as ones that require certain amounts of kills, weapon upgrades, and the like. But what about multiplayer? Greg, what say you?
I say I suck at first-person multiplayer, but I still had fun with Resistance Burning Skies. There's Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, and Survival, where 6 humans take on 2 Chimera, and the Chimera army slowly indoctrinates every human they kill. The maps are more compact than the likes of Resistance 3, but with a max of 8 players, that makes sense. What I really liked was the experience model, and how I used the points I earned to unlock guns and mods as I played. Yeah, I know that's normal on consoles, but having a first-person shooter sweet on a handheld is pretty cool. However, I echo everything you said about controls, Colin. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, but trying to tap the screen to mark an enemy for the bullseye during a multiplayer firefight was tough, and tapping the back screen twice to run really didn't feel natural. Maybe these will come to me after some time with the single-player campaign, but who knows? Colin, you sexy Chimera-killing beast, take me home!
Thanks, Greg. What do you think of what you've seen of Resistance Burning Skies? Let us know in the comments below, and then keep it tuned to IGN Vita as we gear up for Burning Skies release in late May.
You better get over there.